Bitcoin is right now retesting crucial support levels while we are seeing a massive shakeout in the crypto market. I will show you what I believe is going to happen next and what action I'm going to take right now. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Tuesday. I almost wanted to say Monday. So we jump directly into the charts here on the DXY. So the DXY is continuously moving here to the downside as expected. I told you that I expect today here to be a bearish candle, and that's what we are seeing right now while we are still consolidating below that former support zone, which is now resistance, multiple times confirmed resistance actually. So at some point you're going to see that we are starting to decline here. That could coincide with the FOMC meeting tomorrow. There's also some other things coming out that could have a bullish impact on crypto and a negative impact on the DXY. I think today is the European ECB coming out with new potential rate cuts, or it was in Japan, their central bank. There was some central bank, sorry that I did not actually have a tab open for that. I had it earlier, but central bank, either the European or the Japanese one is coming out with potential rate cuts. Yeah, definitely with rate cuts today as far as I remember correctly what I've what I've seen earlier. So and that of course could put pressure again on the dollar here today, that the dollar also starts moving down here. So now Bitcoin on the 1 hourly chart. So first of all, yesterday's move here to the upside, where we tried to break out here, was a deviation out of the downwards, the bull pennant that we are forming here along that downward sloping resistance line. So now we are getting a small different deviation. Actually, maybe it's not even a deviation. Let's see, is it? Technically, technically it's not a deviation just yet. So if we break, so sometimes you have to readjust these lines as the price moves. So we are basically bounced off here of that, the upward sloping support line of that pennant currently. So if we break below that, then yes, then we're going to get a deviation to the downside, come back, most likely continue to shoot here higher. The short-term support level up here at $105,760 was now lost in the short term, but we're here on 1 hourly chart, so in the next 2 hours it can easily turn around again and be reclaimed. The most important chart to watch right now for the shorter time frames is actually the 4 hourly chart. If we are able on the 4 hourly chart to reclaim that level and move here back to the upside. So I have here a new trading setup. So no, sorry, that was the original trading setup, so that we completed yesterday. So first of all, congratulations to everybody that was able to take this trade. Now, once we come back up here to that entry level, you can re-enter this trade. Yeah, just simply re-enter this, and again around the downward sloping trend line, that's where you start to pay attention if we are able to break through this or get rejected. So you need to at least have your stop loss slightly above your entry when we get to that line, and that would be then around $106,300 approximately, where I would set my stop loss to once we are getting really close to this downward sloping trend line. And the former support level here, up here, so it was short-term support today, flipped now back into resistance. That's why there's here this SR, because it is a support resistance flip zone for the moment. When we are going then into this 1 hourly chart with the VPVR, then here you can clearly see that we are currently testing the point of control on the VPVR here, that is this red line, which is also having the longest volume bar here. So that means recently the most volume was traded in that area. And if we are not getting here a proper bounce in the next 2-3 candles, then most likely we will go a little bit lower. Just that you know, I want to be prepared for that. But regardless of that, this is just a shakeout. So that is just to get, make you move out of your positions. And I'm telling you, I'm not moving. I have enough money on the sideline to add to my positions, whatever I have to add. Nobody is shaking me out in this move here to the downside. So even if we come all the way down to like $103,800 and step here into liquidity and then bounce back to the upside, that fine with me, you know. So let the market makers do what they want to do. I can wait this out, you know. So, but for me, this would be also a massive zone from where I would take a long position. There are other zones from where you can also take long positions. I'm going to show you that here in a moment, but that would be one of them. Here on this 1 hourly chart, just something that I wanted to point out here. Remember that I said at some point we're going to get here another higher low. I think here potentially is that higher low, because the stochastic is already flatlining here in oversold conditions, and as long as we're not breaking this low here, we even if we would break this, we cannot break this one down here. So basically this is that low. So as long as we're not breaking below $102,650, we are good, you know. So, and I don't see that happening. So, and this higher low should be somewhere here. So maybe a little bit lower, you know. Maybe this is it already, but I don't see us going here much lower than where we are currently at. Not much, maybe another 1% or 2%. Of course, altcoins will suffer dramatically from this. But Bitcoin itself, what is another 1% or 2%? It doesn't really affect us, you know, unless you trade with a 50x leverage or 100x leverage. On the 4 hourly chart, here I have a new trading setup at the golden ratio, a little bit, not in the middle, slightly above the middle of the golden ratio at $105,200 as the entry. So why do I have there the entry? Because first of all, there is a huge chance that Bitcoin comes down into this golden ratio and bounces from there and goes back to the upside. And if we are not doing that and we lose it and we go a little bit lower, again, it's the bottom range of the overall trading zone that we're currently in. And that's also fine by me. You know, then I long from the bottom. If I get stopped out here, then I long from the bottom or close to that bottom of that range here. So we lost the where we were trading just for a really short brief period in it, where we got here this move to the upside, which was creating a lower high. So here's the higher, so here higher low, lower high, lower high, lower high, but we are still putting in higher lows. So, and as long as we are putting in higher lows, we not out of the woods, I would say, you know, so, but we can have hope that this uptrend continues. So, but what we need to see right now for that is at least a reclaim of $105,800 back into the mid-range on the 4 hourly chart, and then either some consolidation or a short squeeze into higher levels. Like I said, so this is the next trading setup for me on the 4 hourly chart from $105,250 approximately all the way up to the last prior high that we put in yesterday here, that lower high at $109,000. So that is a 3.5% profit here. So I will personally long this with 25x, because if I lose it, I lose maybe 18% on that trade, which is not crazy, you know, 18% against potentially 80% to the upside. So the risk to reward ratio is there for me to take that kind of risk on that position. If you want to trade with me together, guys, do it on Blowfin. You get up to $5,000 just for signing up and depositing on Blowfin. Also in my new trading group, where you have to have $500 on your Blowfin account, plus that you really need to sign up with the link in the pinned comment below. There's again 16 people that try to get into the channel that have not followed the steps, guys, you know. So I don't understand it, how you do that, you know. So I have even messaged some of you personally to see what's going on, you know. So I'm not doing this anymore, you know. So join as much as you want. If you don't follow the steps, I just gonna deny the request, you know. So it's that simple. But if you want to be part of the challenge where I handhold you from $500 to $10,000 to get there, then sign up with the link in the pinned comment below, deposit $500, write me on Twitter or on Telegram, and I will never ask you to transfer money to me personally, only to Blowfin, you know, to a Blowfin account, your Blowfin account, not mine, you know, your Blowfin account, and then you get the link to that channel. Again, if you want that I help you to make $10,000 from $500, you know what to do. Like I said, all the links are in the pinned comment below. And here on the MDX Algo Scalp Gradients, here you see now what I meant, that price action, when we were here at the purple zone, I said this looks like that we're gonna get expansion to the upside. That's exactly what was happening here. We came into this resistance cluster. That's why we got a rejection here at $109,000 yesterday. Plus that again, coincidentally, some events happened in the US related with the Iran and Israel war, that Trump said, no, he said, I go now to the Situation Room and everybody in Tehran should get out of the city. There's something happening, you know, nothing happened yet. I don't know what's going to happen there. Maybe tonight something is happening there. So, and basically everybody fled the city. And that led to major tensions again in the Middle East. There's continuous bombing, and that was something that coincided with the drop to the downside. Currently, we're trading around the weekly open. As long as we are staying above the weekly open, we're going to get continuation by tomorrow, maybe even still today, potentially. So, but we need to stay above the weekly open. Best case scenario, even reclaim the daily open, move another percent again to the upside, and then we would definitely come here all the way up to the top side of the of that bullish pennant here at $109,500 approximately. We get now a sell tag. That sell tag, in my opinion, might be just a fake out. We have seen something like this over there, you know. So here sell tag, we came down a little bit, straight got a buy signal again from that massive wick here, and then continue to go higher. So I see something potentially like this happening here, where we get one step into this major support block here. So here, the lighter blue one, there is massive buy orders. Wick from there, just stepping into that liquidity, come back up, you get another buy tag, and we continue to go higher. So the problem is this can also go gradually down, and that would be really bad for our altcoins most likely, because they will, every time that we move a couple $100 lower, they gonna bleed a lot. So that's what we definitely don't want to see. So here on the reactor indicator, here also we are getting a briefer, but like I said, in the next 12 hours potentially this is turning around and we start moving up here again into the actual breakout zone. Then on the daily chart, we are slightly below the entry for this trading setup. So if you got yesterday into this, you should have been normally stopped out, you know. So you should have had a stop loss here at break even already when we were at $109,000. That would have been the smart way to do it. If not, it's not the end of the world, guys. It's not the end of the world, you know. So I don't see us breaking here through the EMA ribbon. Maybe a retest again of the mid level here of $104,800 approximately, which is also more or less halfway through the stop loss, and then we should reverse back to the upside. You see here more shorts are coming in again, but we have also now more long liquidity sitting here, way more than what was earlier here when I looked at it and prepared the video, while we're also forming a bullish pennant on the 4-hourly chart, and we see here now that we basically got rejected from the 50 and the 200 moving average, which is really bad, you know. So we need to reclaim that here really quickly. I think overall this is just a consolidation phase here, and once we're breaking out of that symmetrical triangle or bull pennant, whatever you want to call it, that we also see here the 50 turning up and the 200 moving along with it. So, and from a liquidity perspective, right now it would make sense that we come down here and step into this liquidity like I just mentioned earlier, which is coinciding with that blue area that I just shown, and not take all of it, just a part of it, and then come up and continue to go higher. Because what happens when we break down here a little bit, people become euphoric on the short side and think that we do now this. And this is definitely not what I see here, that we break here in the short term below $100,000. Definitely not happening unless Israel really planes the field of Tehran, and it means like evaporates Tehran tonight, you know. So, and there's like nothing left of Tehran tomorrow morning, you know. So that would be an event where you could see a drop like this, you know. So, but in any other event, I'm not seeing that at all. Population heat map here also all the way down to $4,300 is where I see potentially the price moving down in the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we stop at 105,000. Let me actually refresh that. We are already lower than that. So yeah, all the way down to here, $105,000 approximately. And then we get a bounce from there. Even if it's a short-term bounce to $106,800, that will put some relief on altcoins, that they can breathe a little bit and most likely get you close or even above your entry level, so that you can get out of the position before we potentially get another turnaround and some consolidation here. On this daily chart, something that I just want to show you really quickly. So this here, this level is now the biggest, that is here the current support zone. So now it's actually, we're still within it a little bit. Just so here that red zone, I should have made it actually green. Let me change that quick here. Come on, horrible. So here, that's the current support zone. We are slightly below it currently, but I have hopes that we come back into that, because the stochastic is technically still printing a buy signal, And if we can at least get back like $1,000 higher, the MACD will turn around and the RSI will also turn around, which again will help us to complete now this W pattern. And now you see already this starts to look like a W pattern here on a daily chart, which means there is more upside. That's why I'm telling you, don't get shaken out right now. Don't get shaken out. Even if we come a little bit lower here to the 50 moving average on the daily, and even if we step below that, it will be just a liquidity grab. Then we come back up, complete the W pattern, so however that might look like, maybe something like this here, complete this, now we have a proper W pattern, and then we go here all the way to the target of $120,000. On the total free market cap, we see here a fight with the support level of $835 billion currently. As long as we can hold above this, I see also continuation here in the next coming days. Break below, and we're most likely going to get here also an altcoin flush. Just want to prepare you guys for that. You should not have too big positions or too high leverage right now on your positions unless you're scalping. If you're scalping, you're fine. But if you're not scalping, you should not have huge leverage on your positions right now. The Bitcoin dominance, I have readjusted these lines here of that rising wedge pattern once again. Here, maybe another move to 65%. And when we get here a proper breakdown out of that falling wedge pattern, then I think we have finally that real drop happening that we are waiting for. On Bybit, all my positions are still there. I did not change anything on these positions, so just my profit went a little bit down. So half of the profit, like half of the profit is what I gave back to the market right now. But that's fine for me. That's fine. I'm fine. You see, most of the positions are still in profit. And if you want to trade with me and get $30,000 in sign-up bonuses and deposit bonuses, then use the link in the pin comment below and in the description below. You can also get a Bybit card. So I spend everything, guys, every single day. Whatever I do, I spend money with my Bybit card, and you should do the same. So plus that you get up to 10% cash back when you pay something with this. So now imagine I would go and I buy a new watch with that, so a new watch, $10,000, I can spend $14,000, $15,000 with that card per day. Now imagine I buy a watch for $10,000, I get $1,000 back, so the watch is now worth for me $16,000 because I paid only 14 plus, technically I pay 15, but I get 1,000 back. So the watch was $14,000, so, and it's done worth 16 because I get the $1,000 back, so it's like the watch 15 plus the 1,000 that I get back makes 16, so that's why make use of that in the pin comment below and in the description below. And you can also now trade stocks and gold and other precious metals also on Bybit, really important. Then Ethereum got rejected from the golden ratio here now twice, yesterday and in today's candle. We are fighting with the 0.5 level at $2,550 to the dollar exactly right now. So also here, if we close above the 0.5 level, we get another attempt on the golden ratio. We can go on here, and that's what I meant. We don't have to break out right now. We can keep consolidating here, basically until here, until first week of July. So like another 2 weeks. The breakout window starts here, okay, like 3 days before the end of the month, so, and goes into mid-July. That is where the breakout window is, more or less, so we can consolidate within that ascending triangle until then, before we get a break to the upside. The only thing that potentially speaks against that is here that bull flag pattern. And here we are back more or less to the entry, a little bit we are around the entry level right now, or slightly below that. But look here, stochastic printing today a buy signal, the RSI is flat, and the stochastic, the MACD is still printing small red candles. So there's still, like, most of the momentum is still on the bull side, for Ethereum. So that's why I'm telling you, again, don't get shaken out today. Don't do it, So today and tomorrow, don't get shaken out. So because I see here still the momentum shifting more to the upside, So it's just a lot of resistance levels coinciding here with us. The downward sloping trend line, this resistance zone, So then just above that, there's more resistance. And that takes usually a while before we get the momentum to break through this. So, but see this like a coil, The more you squeeze a coil, the more energy is released when you let it go, So that, just take a coil, squeeze it like this, and then squeeze it like this, So it will jump way further when you squeeze it all the way as much as you can, and then let it go. And that's the same with the price action, So it's coiling up here for that move to the upside. The next one is Solana. If you're really lucky and you are not in a Solana trade right now, you get another chance to enter here at $147, which is like 1.5% to the downside. If not, then that current level might be the level from where we are going back to the upside. So if you see here this current 4-hourly candle turning green, that is your go sign to get into that. So, but it should stay a little bit green. You know, it needs to go like to $152 and stay there a little bit. You know, so wait maybe for a 30-minute candle close, or even 2 before you enter. But that would be an alternative entry here for this trade to go here to the upside, because also here on the 4-hourly chart, one little pinch is enough that we get a buy signal here on the stochastic. The RSI is already slightly turning around and printing a bullish divergence, and the MACD will get a bounce to the upside. The next one, really quick here, is AAVE. So AAVE bouncing off the golden ratio. So this is right now already a go for me. And the underlying support zone here in green into that triangle here. Then this down here was just a small deviation, and now we continue the upwards momentum at least to almost $300 in my opinion, and also put in here a W pattern on AAVE. So if you want to trade AAVE, here's your trade setup. So basically from here all the way up to $300. So here golden ratio. So they're 11.68% from the golden ratio. So from current price maybe 10.63, which is also fine. And yeah, that's how I would trade this currently. The next one is Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid got here a massive move. So if you were in that trade, congratulations. Yeah, we made it. It went all the way to the target really quickly, but it also came down really quickly back here to our entry level. We are slightly above entry right now. You can re-enter this. I think this will go again. You know, so here's a massive wick on the top. I think the next time that we are going up here, we're going to fill this wick, and then we go into the golden ratio close to $50. So that is a golden opportunity to enter right now into this trade, because this is looking again really strong. Also here stochastic with the next 4-hourly candle printing a buy signal. MACD not super bearish. RSI slightly turning around already, and also on the lower time frames we have bullish divergences. Then I'm also still in a SUI trade. Here the original SUI setup is gone, but that's fine. So I'm still in this trade. I keep adding to it. But where you need to pay attention to now, if you're also trading SUI, I'm going to show it to you. So there's multiple things. So the first thing is that is currently your support zone. So you have a small green block here, as you can see. The major one is also here. So just that you know, because we stepped here now multiple times into that area. And now again, so if we are closing the current 4-hourly candle as it is, then this was the bottom, and we most likely we continue the upwards move. And I would enter this from, after that current 4-hourly close. If it closes in green, that candle needs to close in green. If it closes in green, that would be my sign to go in with a stop loss at $2.86 approximately. So for spot accumulation, use that zone here from $2.92 to $2.65. In that region is where you want to buy more spot, and also swing positions on leverage. That's where you want to open them. The next one is AVAX. AVAX also currently in a support range here in that green box. As you can see here, the entry would be around $19.77. And you have confirmation once we're breaking this downward sloping trend line. That is your confirmation bias that we actually start moving here now in direction of $27.36 for the overall setup here. Why do I say that? Because here again on the daily, the MACD losing momentum, flipping more bullish, stochastic printed a buy signal, RSI pointing slightly to the upside, and I think the 4-hourly chart also is more or less ready soon. Let me load this. Next 4-hourly candle is printing a buy signal, RSI already going up, MACD already getting a bounce here. So as long as we are above also that trend line, we should see here more upwards momentum. But otherwise, I gave you a lot of levels of also to the downside from where you can accumulate more or open positions. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Tuesday. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you with more money in your portfolio tomorrow.